What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this. Beautiful, delicious, smoky, smashed, spicy, amazing jalapeno popper smoked smash burger with some lovely bacon jam, some homemade smoked whipped cream cheese, and smashed with some lovely thinly sliced jalapenos, all on a homemade bun. Coming up! This is some meat. Patty dry. And what I've got here is an absolutely beautiful chuck roast, as well as some chuck ribs. Picked these both up at the grocery store, and they're looking fantastic. Lots of great marbling in there, which should give us a really nice 80-20 to 70-30 meat to fat ratio, which is exactly what we need for a good smash burger. And I've made several smash burgers on this channel over the years, but there's one that I've always wanted to try to make, which is the jalapeno popper smash burger. And I've seen it floating around the internet for a little while now, and it always looks incredible, but I've never actually had one. That is, until a few weeks back, I was down in Hondo, Texas at the Open Fire meetup, where I ran into my buddy Mike from Alf's Kitchen, and he brought his famous jalapeno popper smash burger, and I was lucky enough to judge his booth, and he ended up getting second place in the competition, and the burger was incredible. So, we're gonna try and recreate it today to the best of my abilities, and that all starts out with some good quality beef. And per usual on this channel, whenever I make a burger, I like to grind my own meat because you just get a much higher quality ground beef that way. Because one, you know exactly what's going into it. It's not a whole bunch of different muscles and scraps. This is one really nice chuck roast, as well as some of these guys over here. But also, you're not going to get a really tight bind like a lot of the pre-ground ground beefs you're going to find at the grocery store, which can lead to a much more tender burger. But to get started, simply enough, I'm going to get this all cubed up so it fits down our meat grinder a little bit easier. And just like that, all cubed up. So now into the freezer this goes for the next 30-40 minutes to get nice and cold to ensure we get a nice clean grind. How is there light exclusively hitting me right in the eyes? Better. And now that the meat is nice and cold, fresh out of the freezer, we go right into the old meat grinder here. Got the small die on there, and we're going to send it through one time. If I remember to plug it in first. Then a minute. Beautiful, nice clean grind on that. But as you can see, good amount of fat content in there, nice and pebbly, which is great. So now I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up just a little bit to make sure we have even fat distribution and work the meat just a little bit so our burgers don't crumble apart on us, but definitely not gonna be as overworked as the pre-ground beef you're gonna get at the store. Still very cold, but looking great. So now we can go ahead and start weighing out some meatballs. And I'm probably gonna do a mix of 3-ounce and 4-ounce balls, but you can make these whatever size you like. The beauty of grinding your own meat. Beautiful little meatball, but now we repeat. Until we've got ourselves Meatball Mountain. Oh, so beautiful. I'm gonna park these in the fridge until we need them. Next up, let's go ahead and knock out some burger buns. Starting with our milk and our eggs, our yeast, and our sugar. Give that a quick little mix. And then in with our bread flour, some dough conditioner, and our salt. And let that come together. And once a dough ball has come together, in we go with our softened butter. And now we're gonna let this knead for about 6 to 8 minutes. Beautiful smooth dough ball. And now into a grease bowl we go to double in size for the next hour and 1/2. And after a nice long rise, out our dough comes. Boop. Go ahead and punch out the air a little bit. And now we're gonna go ahead and portion this out into some 90-gram dough balls. And then take your dough and pinch all the seams to the underside, pinching everything closed. And then give the old table roll for a nice smooth topped ball, like that. And once all balled up, I've got them on a Silpat lined baking sheet here, pressing them down so they're a little wider instead of taller. And we're gonna cover these up and let these rise for another 45 minutes or so. And after about an hour and 15 minutes, these have finally puffed up to a reasonable size, and honestly, it took a lot longer than I was expecting, and that might be because my yeast is dead, although they did puff up, or maybe it's because it's winter and it's kind of cold out here. But either way, let's egg wash these. Just a beaten egg with a splash of water. Beautiful. And now we're going to go into a 375-degree oven for about 20 minutes. And just like that, after 20 minutes on the dot out of the oven, these come looking absolutely beautiful. I did go through and rotate this pan a few times for even cooking, but now I'm going to pull these off and rest them on a wire rack so the bottoms don't sog out. And while I was waiting for those buns to rise, I wasn't just sitting around, so let's go back an hour or so and see what I made. Now, when it comes to the bacon component of the jalapeno popper smash burger, Mike always goes for a really tasty looking bacon jam, so let's knock out one of those real quick. And now in an arguably too small vessel, let's cook off that bacon. Yeah, that might be too small, although it will shrink up a little bit. But we're simply gonna get this nice and crispy and rendered off. And after about 4 or 5 minutes, this is looking good, nice and crispy, nicely rendered. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that out and go in with round 2. And just like that, all the bacon is cooked off. I also strained out all this fat, but we're gonna go back in with a little bit of this just to cook our onions, which is the next step. Although it is crazy how much 3 packets of bacon shrinks up. And after cooking these onions down for about 10-15 minutes, they're looking really nice, kind of deglaze that bacon pan a little bit, starting to break down a little bit. So now we can go in with everything else, including some apple cider vinegar, some brown sugar, and in Mike's video, he went in with a shot of espresso, but I'm just gonna go in with some Commentier coffee, make life easy. And he always throws something fruity in there, so going in with some raspberries. Sounds pretty good to me. Get that stem out of there. And also going with a nice big fat pinch of salt, as well as some freshly cracked black pepper. And just let this cook down for another 5 minutes or so. And after a few minutes, those raspberries have broken down, everything has come together, and it smells really nice. So now back in we go with all of our bacon. And we'll get that folded in, and we're gonna drop the heat down and let this simmer for another 30 minutes or so to let those onions continue to caramelize and let this come together into a beautiful raspberry bacon jam. And after cooking down for 30-40 minutes or so, we've got ourselves an absolutely beautiful, nice bacon jam. Smells incredible. I gave it a taste. It tastes great. I did add a pinch of salt along the way because there's a lot of onions in there. But now we're gonna let this cool down. Gotta say, this stuff is very tasty. I gotta stop snacking on it. Next up, we gotta talk about cream cheese. And I'm thinking a nice smoked whipped cream cheese is probably the right move for this burger. So let's go ahead and fire up the pit. Got the old offset fired up with a couple logs of post oak in there. Gonna run a pretty smoky, pretty low fire. Gonna go ahead and throw this block of cream cheese on. Mostly to get a little smoke flavor on there, but really it's because I didn't soften it up yet. We need it soft to whip it. So probably let that go for 20 minutes or so. And after about 30 minutes or so, this is looking pretty good, pretty smoky, and nicely softened. So off it comes. And now we're gonna drop that into a bowl. I'm also gonna go in with a little bit of chud rub for some extra flavor. Oops. And then to turn it into whipped cream cheese, I'm simply gonna whip it. I'm also gonna go in with a little splash of milk just to thin this out a little bit to, again, hopefully make it a little bit more spreadable. Just a little bit at first. Kind of winging it here, folks. Never actually made whipped cream cheese before. But it does appear to be expanding in volume, which is a good thing, meaning we're incorporating some air. And I also want to cool this down, so we've got some ice water here. And because it is fresh off a pit, this should help firm it up a little bit quicker. The whole ball is spinning. Kind of convenient, honestly. And just like that, all whipped up, looking pretty good, honestly. And it definitely looks like a lot more than one block of cream cheese. So I think that was a somewhat successful experiment, but I guess we'll have to see how well this spreads out. But for now, let's move on. Ah, so thin. So at this point, we've got our buns, our cream cheese, our burger patties, our bacon jam, and our jalapenos. But because I just so happen to have a 150-degree smoker set up right behind me, I think we should put a little smoke on these patties. Hence, smoking your meat for a smash burger is something I did try a while back on the channel here. But when I did it, I just took a chuck roast and I cold smoked it for a while before grinding it up and making it into burger balls. But when I was at the open fire meetup, I was talking to Mike about it, and he says you can just take a ball like this and pop it on a pellet grill at like 180 for 30 minutes, and you'll get all the smoky flavor you need. But again, already got the offset fired up, so we'll throw a few of these on. Oops. And we'll check back in probably 20-30 minutes. And just like that, after about 30 minutes, these are looking good. Got a nice little red hue to them, but they're still feeling nice and raw. I just temped one of these to like 70 degrees, so did not do much cooking. And I ended up throwing them all on because might as well have some smoked smash burgers on hand, right, folks? But now I'm gonna pull all these off and stick them in the fridge for a little bit. Beautiful crumb on that. Let's get this toasted off in the old chud press, shall we? Go down with a little bit of melted butter for a good measure, because you always got to toast your buns, folks. Beautiful. And now with the chud press ripping out, we can go ahead and make ourselves some smash burgers. But first, we're going to take some of our lovely thinly sliced jalapenos and go down Oklahoma onion burger style. And a little patty wax on top never hurt. And we'll give them a press. Let that sit there for a minute. Get that patty wax out of there. Let's just make sure it doesn't stick to the top here. Although usually I don't have much issue with that. Go ahead and rearrange some of these jalapenos. Maybe throw a couple extra on if you're feeling frisky. Go ahead and hit these with a little chud rub while we're back here. I would use the steak rub, but I am fresh out and I haven't been to the chud shop yet today, so definitely gonna pick some more of that up, but chud rub should work out perfectly. You can also go in at this stage and kind of push these edges if you wanted that lacy edge look, and kind of take it or leave it with the lacy edges. And then we can go through and get this unstuck and give it a flip. Oh yeah, beautiful crust on that. Yup. Those look good. Got that red smoky hue to them and that smash burger crust. What a combination. Although they may be too big for the buns I made, so we may have to do this again with the smaller patties I made. There's nothing wrong with a little extra meat on the burger. Whew. Glad I'm doing this outside with jalapenos directly on the flat top. It smells good though. But now we can go down with our cheese. American cheese, please, folks. It's the only cheese that belongs on a cheeseburger. And after just a couple of seconds, that cheese is looking nice and melted, so stack these up, and off it comes. Oh, it's so beautiful. And to assemble, bottom bun, getting a lovely schmear of our smoky whipped cream cheese. Oh yeah, spreading like a dream, folks. Worked out pretty well. Ooh, I can smell the smoke on it too. Followed by our gigantic patties. Oops. And then on the top bun back here, we're gonna go down with some of our lovely bacon jam. Looking and smelling so good. And then simply enough, on it goes for my version of the jalapeno popper smash burger. And there it is in all its glory, folks. A beautiful homemade bun with some smoky smash burger patties loaded with cheese, our bacon jam, our smoked whipped cream cheese, some thinly sliced jalapenos, and yeah, I'm ready to see how this came out. It really is quite a magnificent looking cheeseburger. I mean, look at the layers on that. Ooh, let me go ahead and cut this in half. For an even better looking cross section. Oh my God, that looks incredible. Squishy bun, I'm here for it. Whoa! I mean, come on. That is ridiculous. Right off the bat, that's a fantastic cheeseburger. Beautiful Maillard, beautiful crust on that beef, cheesy. That cream cheese adds a wonderful mouthfeel, and it is incredibly smoky right off the bat, very noticeable, but not too smoky. And I'm not sure if that's from the bacon jam, the smoked cream cheese, or the smoked patty, or just all three working together in harmony, but there's no doubt that this is a smoky burger. But again, not too overpowering. That is just comforting. A little bit of kick in there from the jalapeno too, balancing it out nicely. This really is a lot more complex than I would have guessed, but you know, you got a lot of crunch from the bacon and the bacon jam, plus the crust of the burger. You got that creamy, gooey cheese factor from the American cheese, plus the cream cheese. You got some heat from the jalapeno. You got some sweet from the onions and the bacon jam, all on a freshly made homemade bun. And it's not even a messy burger. Everything's just staying together. That's a winner, folks. Honestly, I think I could use a little bit more cream cheese. It's just so interesting, you know? Cream cheese on a burger, who knew? Gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with how much smoke flavor that beef took on for only being on there for 30 minutes, and the fact that it's still smashed out properly. Pretty cool trick. All in all, I'd say this is a pretty fantastic burger, folks, although I am regretting not putting everything bagel seasoning on the tops of the buns. That would have been a nice touch. Also, I probably could have put cream cheese on the top bun as well to help hold everything in, although it's not really falling apart. I just think I could use a little bit more cream cheese, or just go heavy-handed on the bottom side. And other than that, I might put some chopped up jalapeno in the cream cheese itself, because I sliced them so thin, you're really not getting all that much jalapeno heat or flavor, but it's definitely there. But all in all, I'd say that's a winner. But before I go ahead and knock out 3 or 4 of these, I think it's time for the onion-free official taste test. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is my version of how to make the smoked jalapeno popper smash burger, made popular by Alf's Kitchen here on all social medias. I highly recommend giving this one a try, you know? This is another one of those recipes that can be as easy or as difficult as you want to make it for yourself, because you can simply go to the store, buy some burger buns, some ground beef, a bacon jam, a jalapeno, and some whipped cream cheese, and have this thing ready in about 5 minutes flat. But that being said, everything I made today was incredibly easy and pretty straightforward, and definitely worth giving a try, because it all comes together for an absolutely fantastic burger that I'm definitely going to add to the roster for when I'm looking for something a little bit different. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Team Chud members. Thank you for supporting this channel and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace.